Yo, this is a little different. We never done this before. You got the bird flocking right there with his new camera.
New camera, who this, motherfuckers?
Clint, you can't curse in the first 2 minutes on YouTube. It's a demonetized, dude, not for children. Yo, but we're here. We're doing a season 2 review of Heels. We're gonna go week by week, every episode. We didn't do season 1 because it's not on the fucking channel. But I think we'll give you like a little recap of what we thought about, or at least our initial thoughts on season 1, and then we'll go through season 2. And every week when a new episode drops, we will have a review up. So be on the lookout. It's Late Night Pod. AD Jbirdy here.
Jbirdy.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for the reverse. reverse. Yo, what'd you think about season 1, Heels? Starring Steve and Amell. Yeah,
it was great. If it wasn't good, I wouldn't have been so excited to watch season 2.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, not a lot, but there's a decent amount of like wrestling cameos, like real actual wrestlers cameos. I like that they use like the rival company, like the South Georgia Wrestling Company, uses real from TNA, which is a wrestling company that used to compete with WWE back in the day. Fun fact, they used to be live at Universal Studios.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and they use their B-reel from like the prime of that show, from that prime of that wrestling company on Heels for that, So fun fact for people who didn't know that. I like the side characters just as much as I like the main characters.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but the other guy who's like the famous wrestler, the fucker, he's hilarious.
Was it Bill?
Bill, yeah, Wild Bill.
Wild Bill.
Making burgers in the mountain, Jared. But that guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
Kind of a little douchey, but he's hilarious. The story was cool, about the whole, obviously there's spoilers, so there's a season 1 recap.
Yeah, season 1 recap right here.
So recap means we're recapping what already happened. If you haven't seen it, find a new pod.
Watch this one. You then, but watch this one and then go find a new pod.
It's a completely different show. We've never had like a scripted wrestling television show that wasn't a wrestling show.
Yeah.
That I know of anyway. There might be a couple that I've never heard of, but it's a scripted, televised show about the insides of wrestling, kind of, and the kind of things that these little independent companies go through before they get absolved by like the WWE and shit.
That's my kind of. All right, so there's a backstory. I watched it when it came out, like every week when it first came out. I don't even remember because I'm on Starz all the time, so I just seen it pop up, and I like Stephen Amell from Arrow. I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. And then every week I watched it, and I watched it ahead of Bird. But I know Bird. I know nothing of wrestling, so I didn't even pick up on any cameos, nothing like that. Like it was just kind of like a good scripted show for me. And what I personally liked was, it felt like it was like the behind the scenes of like what wrestling actually is in terms, even on the biggest scale. But I just liked how like it was like a small town like wrestling thing. I think it gave it a different vibe, But I put Bird on. I was like, yo, I think you might like this show. Like, it's just a good show, and it's about wrestling. You might fuck with it. And then I remember we were gaming, and you were watching it, and just like, you were like, oh, shit, I didn't know this guy was in here, or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy was talking about. You were telling me all the little tidbits about the wrestling side. And I was like, damn, that means they actually took, like, to me, the writers took time and care with the script, like, actually putting, like, real things for actual wrestling fans. So this is, like, not only just catered for like a show, but it's catered for like the actual wrestling fans. That's what I enjoyed about it, but I can't really talk about the wrestling shit.
Story was fire, though. Punk.
Yeah. When you told me, I didn't realize it when I first watched it.
Mind you, we watched the show a long time ago. The way it ended was cool. That would never happen in a wrestling show, no matter what. Somebody who didn't like start the match wouldn't just win a belt. You know what I mean? People, you don't just get to enter a match and be, oh yeah, well they're all down. Let me just take the belt off the ladder. Yeah. The fact that she got to win it is cool. The valet Bunny, whatever the hell her first name.
Yeah, what was it? Bombshell Bunny or something?
Bombshell or something like that. Yeah. Dick sometimes to her, but she seems like a nice girl.
Yeah, I like when she started dating the other, or like when talking to the other dude. I was like, he's such a nice guy, like this guy, everyday good guy. I enjoyed her arc, even though because it was like to me, at least when I first watched it. After on second viewing, I think because we watched it in the Discord, I don't remember. I remember we were watching it together, but watching it back, I was like, oh yeah, you can like it telegraphs like what they were gonna do. But when I first watched it, there was no like sense of like she was gonna win the belt or nothing, and like her character just kept getting every episode like a little bit more important, and I kind of enjoyed that aspect because it was like, oh shit, like I didn't realize I cared about this character as well. I thought she was just a side character.
Who's your favorite character so far?
Overall, that's kind of hard. I kind of like the main dude because he goes through shit, and I kind of like Ace, to be honest. Like I like the two brothers because it's like literally contrasting. Like they're going through two different things, and I'm really intrigued by the story. And when we get to season 1, like I'm kind of glad they went that route, but I'm intrigued by like how the dad, terminated himself, and then fucking
terminated
because you can't say it. It'll be demonetized.
Final finish.
Yeah. He downbeat himself.
Yeah, he gave himself a power bomb. Gatling gun.
Big Poppy Andrew, where you at? Clip it. Nah, but I was intrigued by that storyline and like how it's been in their family, and this is like their dad's baby, but they're still trying to keep it going, and like how the town does connect with that shit, But
yeah. My favorite character is Willie, the girl that runs the duck. Oh, she's my favorite.
She's like a female bird.
And she's been through it with the dad, with Bill, with the whole industry.
Yeah. Crazy, because now she's with I forgot this dude's name. The main character. I forgot his name. I'm blanking. Stephen Amell's character. Yeah, main guy.
Oh, Jack?
Is it Jack?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, Jack of Spades.
Yeah, Jack of Spades. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, she is like, she's kind of like the voice of reason for everybody, really. Like, they all kind of go to her for that, like, advice.
Yeah. And then, when Wild Bill pretended to fake punch her in the face and she doesn't move. And he's like, oh, man. Good at this.
Yeah, Wild Bill's a character, dog. I mean, especially, since we're talking about the first season, like the way they had him shit. Bro, like I rewatched like when he fucking saves the day from the other wrestling company guy. It's like gets up like in his shit pants, like waddles over, tackles him. Like, nah, bro, this man's.
The line in season 2, episode 1, referring to that. He's like, darling, in the part of my body I can't control.
I can't control. She's like, it's such great effects.
Yeah. And then he can throw Cuckoo Do is the top 10 TV show line of all time.
Yeah, Cuckoo Doodle Doo. When you heard that, you went nuts. He said, Cuckoo Doodle Doo.
He's like, I'm fucking your wife, Cuckoo Doodle Doo, motherfucker. Oh my god. Then he punches him in the face.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, overall, what would you give season 1 if you had to?
8.2.
8.2?
Yeah, I'll give it 8.2.
Yeah, I give it like a 7.9, honestly.
Especially maybe for a show that's really original that has to be written. There's nothing like The Sopranos can take from mafia life. You got like The Arrow is already written in comic books. They just got to televise it. It's like there's no. I mean, obviously there's wrestling that exists.
Yeah.
They can take from that, but the storyline's completely organic and original for as far as I know.
Yeah.
There's no wrestling. I mean, obviously there's probably been guys who committed, who off themselves. Rest in peace to that guy.
That guy, yeah.
Through wrestling, issues, because wrestling, the industry is tough.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have to travel, but in general, the traveling, the drugs, the alcohol, the women, the partying, that all gets to you at the end of the day.
And just beating up your body. I mean, they do. That's one thing they do a great job at showing is like the effects of like how wrestling is, and they did it in this episode in terms of like teaching Ace how to wrestle. But you just see like it really impacts their bodies when they're doing this shit, even though it's scripted and it's not necessarily real, quote unquote, in terms of like it's not going down like you think it is. Like they choreographed this shit, but they're still putting their body on the line.
They're working together to make it look like they're beating each other up.
Yeah.
But the person who's doing the move is putting more work in than the person receiving the move. But the person receiving the move has to make it look like the person giving them the move is actually hitting them with it.
Yeah.
So there's a whole art form. It's crazy. But, that's pretty much all I have to say about season
Yeah.
1.
Season 1 was good. And like you said, you wouldn't have been excited for season 2. So now season 2 starts kind of where we left off in season 1, right? In terms of like at the fair, you kind of see the aftermath. You see Jack calling his wife after she sings, like trying to get her performance, like just say good job on the performance and shit like that. And then what I enjoyed is when they went back in time.
But what I didn't like is they didn't differentiate what they were doing. Like one was past and what was future. You kind of
Yeah,
just had to.
but okay.
And I did like the aspect of going back in time, but I wanted a continuation of the story.
Yeah.
We didn't get any like what's next at all, except for when the dude did the snippet of the promo of her winning the belt.
Oh yeah. The
That
Florida guy.
Yeah, Florida guy. But that's a take on something that happened in real life with wrestling. Back in the day, Raw used to be scripted and WCW wasn't. So Mick Foley won the title on Raw, and WCW used to go live before Raw aired their show.
Mm-hmm.
So he got on for the 10 minutes before the guy who ran WCW and told the crowd who was going to win the WWE Championship. He did it live. And every viewer in WCW switched over to WWE to see Mankind win the title. Even though they knew it was already going to happen, everybody switched over.
Oh, this shit's gonna be hard.
Viewed episodes in WWE history is when WCW thought they could spoil the finisher, which is where this storyline is coming from, with him recording that promo telling, "Oh, let's record it right now."
Yeah. He went nuts. He went nuts in that shit. Even the guy in the back holding the camera was like, let's go.
Hopping around.
Oh, bro. If like honestly, that's impressive. If you just turn the camera on, and just click it on, dude. Like, yo, they really thought they can have the valet win the belt.
Yeah. But only the best in real life can do that. Like only the best like promo guys in the industry can actually do that. Because 90% of these wrestlers are scripted. Like they go out there and they have to memorize a script in a week, and they said, "This is what you're gonna say. Go put your flair on it, but word for word, this is what you're gonna say." And then certain wrestlers don't have to do that. Like the John Cena's, the Rocks, they can go out there without a script and be off the arm with it.
Yeah.
Which is like you're saying, it takes a lot of talent to just freestyle a fucking promo.
I mean, you just see it in real life. Well, not real life, but in terms of like combat sports, like there's only some guys that are good on the mic and some of them aren't, just naturally. Like UFC is not really the place where they're like they are trying to sell the fights, but most guys aren't going in there to try to sell their next fight, which they should be. But then you see somebody like Conor who gets on the mic, he like boasts about his fight, and then tells you who's next and shit.
Call her a camera.
But now I do agree they didn't really differentiate like when it was like now the present and then the past. But I really did enjoy the like going back to like when the dad did it, when they found him, like when Ace found him, because it really shows you. And that, I mean, the underlying story is two brothers going through it right now. Like that's really what it is. Like to me, at least, it's like the two brothers are really trying to find their place in the world, while also trying to be brothers to each other. Which the dad seemed to like really instill in like Jack and Ace. Like you kind of need each other more, and to Jack like protect your brother. But like he really instilled that in them, and now they're kind of like at that crossroads where like he fucked them over in season 1, doing the tissue shit. And like him finding out, and then they get into that brawl, like it really created a rift in that shit. So I like to see like when they were kind of like where this kind of started, essentially,
but there's like certain things too, like Jack was stuck there, and then you have to feel some sort of pissed offness that Ace had the opportunity to leave.
And he's still there.
And because he whatever he did, which I think they're gonna get into why he didn't make it to the next level. But it's like, dude, you had the dad gave you everything.
Yeah.
To go and be in the NFL, be in the NBA, be a pitcher.
Yeah.
And now you're here. You know what I mean? And this is my thing, which end now because dad's dead. I have a job. I don't need to do this anymore, but I've been doing it so long that I can't let it go.
Yeah.
You know? So like Ace has only seen the ups of it because he's only been in the crowd. Jack has been dealing side by side with his dad and his torment forever, and then it ends with Ace, who's only seen the highs, sees his dad kill himself.
Yeah.
You know, which when Jack told him, he's like, "Dad knew you were home."
Mm.
You know? And he was like, "What?" He goes, "Dad knew you were home. Like he knew you were gonna find him."
That's crazy.
Mhm.
And now I did enjoy. Now it's kind of weird because like now it seems like it almost feels like Jack like he obviously carries the burden of his father and the DWO in general, but it also seems like he wants to be like I mean obviously the show's called Heel, like he wants to be the heel.
Yeah.
And he kind of needed it's like he wanted to be the star heel, and he's kind of like his brother comes and like just shows. I mean, his brother was obviously gifted in terms of like athleticism, but naturally gifted in the ring because he grew up around it as well. Like so, like when they had like the training montage, and then they go to like the actual wrestling match, like it seems like Jack is excited for his brother to be a part of it, even though he kind of knows like his dad didn't want it. Because I don't know if you've seen the trailer for the next episode, but it seems like they're gonna keep going back. Like they kind of did last season, but this season it seems like a little bit more. They're gonna focus on like what happened with the father and shit.
What I don't like about that is, to me, that means the writers don't have any story
To go
for
forward with.
go forward with. It's, if they're gonna keep going back, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? If they do it right, but I want to see what's gonna. I don't want to wait till the final episode to see Ace win the belt or see Jack win the belt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the show should be about the family, but it should also be about the wrestling part of the show.
Nah, I think it might. I think it might. Like I think this episode was kind of like because the story is still gonna continue from where we left off, right? In terms of last season, so they kind of needed to like. To me, it seems like they're slowing it down a little bit. Like they're giving us like the past, so then they can stretch out like their story. Because maybe they're looking at doing this for a couple. Now shows are kind of looking at it for like 5 seasons, 6 seasons. You know what I'm saying?
Do we know who Epps in this season?
No, I don't. Not off the top. I would assume what 10, 11?
Something like that, I would assume.
But
I'll only giving us the one, and giving you the episode breakdown.
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume like last season, like about 10.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, but then like I said, it probably will revert to like last season where it's like the past is just in the background. It's just to continue the story forward. They're not necessarily gonna have episodes where it's just all in the past. But like I said, I enjoyed this one because it was like we got to see like Rooster and like all the guys before the dad, like right when the dad did that to himself, and see like how they were close, but you can also see, and that was my biggest takeaway, was like especially with the guys and the side characters, like Rooster like always seemed like he was saying he wanted to stay and shit, but it always seemed like he felt better than the DWL in a way, like he was his way out.
You know what I mean? He is better than the DWL. And so could have, King Spade could have been, or Jack Spade could have been. But for some reason, this company sucks you in. It
Keeps you
turns you their family, and then you're like, I don't care how good I get. This is where I want to be. But he was quick to jump ship last season too. When because didn't he try to wrestle for the South Florida?
Remember he did, and he was kind of the one that suggested that the guys go and sabotage the State Fair.
Yeah.
So like he's fully turned, like he's not going back to the DWL. But I find it interesting that they like made it a point to like, because they asked him like, what do you see yourself doing after this? And he's like, I see myself staying here. Like he said it, So now I think we're gonna see like a little bit. Even when Ace was like training, he was kind of like downplaying Ace, like he ain't gonna be that good and shit. And then that's when he kind of got Ace's respect when they went in the ring.
He said, "Oh, let me get a turn with him real fast."
Yeah.
Like, all right, this kid can kind of do something.
Yeah, I mean,
he's like slow with the Irish whip. Slow.
Yeah. Obviously, like it showed. Now, I'm curious because obviously they had to have written this like sometime in between, or sometime while like the season was like airing or some shit, or I don't know when they wrote season 2. but like it seems like they're like trying to like super put what's her name in the show, the valet. Do you remember her name?
Funny?
Yeah, but her actual I don't remember her actual name.
Oh no, I'm not sure.
But like her being around in the past, like like being one of the servers at the dad's wedding, or like being at the show. Oh yeah, Crystal, yeah. But like Crystal being at the show, and like calling one of the things. So I think like they're still gonna like try to solidify her as like she is a top wrestler for this company, instead of like she just won it. Because now I know that because I accidentally clicked on the. I didn't accidentally click. I thought I was watching like this guy do like a review. I watch a lot of his reviews for like Power. I was like, oh shit, he's doing heels. Let me check. But I guess Starz sent him the whole season. He did like a season 2 review in whole, and I was like, oh fuck. And like I kind of heard like some shit, and like to your point, like they upped the cameos. It seems like they announced a couple, but they upped the cameos, and it seems like they're gonna give Crystal a little bit more like. They're gonna bring women into it, so she has somebody.
Vision.
Yeah, I think so she can have a belt and shit. Because obviously, at the thing, like the fair, she was like, if there was a pop, no, like when she got it, like
absolutely, but she can't keep that.
No, they're gonna make her fight for it, right? Like, and it has to be soon.
Maybe they just take it from her. Like they start a women's division and they take the man's belt from her.
They could, but I see like since it's like so close knit. That they might like within the next couple episodes maybe be like, yo, like we'll have a show. I'll take the belt from you, and then but you can still try to earn it back. Like almost, and then that's when they bring the women in.
Wins the woman's belt first, double champ, and then loses man's belt. She
has Wild Bill Valet for her. Progressive.
With the show, though, I swear to God, you better bring back Apocalypse. Okay, I watched the show 85% because of James Harrison. He wasn't back episode, and he was there in storyline wise because he's an OG. Okay, whatever the contract dispute in real life is going on, bring back Apocalypse.
Hey, you heard it here first, folks. I don't even know what that means, but do it.
Apocalypse is the big black dude, James Harrison.
Oh yeah.
Played for the Steelers. He was the Steelers linebacker in real life.
Oh yeah, you told me that. He wasn't in this episode?
No.
Well, maybe he came after the death.
No, because he was with the WL forever.
The whole time?
He's a veteran in the locker room, so he's been there. So the fact that he wasn't at the tribute show is like bullshit. Unless they write it in that he was like, I just couldn't be there. For me, that's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, defensive player of the year, and you cut him out of your show, Starz. You cut him out. Bring him back.
Let's see. Let's see, dude. Let's see.
He's not back. I already looked, bro. Nothing even comes up because they know I'm gonna be pissed off.
He said I already looked.
He's not back by episode 3. I'm cutting it. I'm never watching the show again. You'll only see.
Oh shit! I gotta do this show by myself now. Well, it's
no cameo. Dropping the cameos, dude.
Oh man. Yeah, they probably didn't sign him because they got all these cameos, dude.
Whatever, dude. He needs to come back, dude.
Yeah. What was your standout from the show, or like this episode at least?
The episode, like I said, it was a good episode, but I was looking forward to the continuation of the story and not a recap of before season 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I get the flashbacks are cool, but episode 1 of a new season should have extended the story. You know what I mean? Or at least, answer the questions from season 1 and give us new questions for season 2. You didn't do any of that. You just gave us like a flashback and then I'm sorry I should have been there while you were singing thing.
Yeah.
Which, it's just episode 1. The show hasn't been out it's been 2 years since season 1 had debuted.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So they had to figure something out in the gap. You know what I mean? Which would make sense why a character like James Harrison is not there, who's like real famous in real life.
Yeah.
Probably the NFL Network's probably like, dude, we'll pay you money to talk about football games. And he's like, all right, well, screw this show.
Could be.
Who knows?
Yeah. I think we will get. I think next episode will be more of like present day.
Yeah, which is cool.
I would assume, please.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it was a good ep.
I agree. What would you rate this one? We'll go every week. We'll give it a rating episode. See if it goes down or up.
7.
7-2.
Yeah.
I'll go 7. Yeah, 7-3.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
would
that the same, but it's about the same. Like it was a good episode. Like, but
just disappointed with it being a flashback episode. It was a good ep.
I think it was good. It just didn't give me like there was no like feeling, not feeling, but there was no like I wasn't excited for next episode.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? That makes sense.
It's
All
like
right,
when Black Ops 3 was so good, and then Black Ops 4. Yeah.
Black Ops
Whatever.
4 was great too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never played Black Ops. I played Black Ops 4 though.
But you're into jetpacks and flying around. I'm not into any of that.
There's no flying around in Black Ops 4. The
Sure there was.
sliding. No.
And wall jumping. I've seen it all, brother.
There's
Running on wall.
There's no wall jumping, dude. It's just slide canceling.
Dude.
That's when slide canceling was invented. Anyways, we're getting off topic, dude. All right.
Okay.
Do you have what's Bird's prediction for the rest of the season? What do you think's gonna happen by the end of the season? Who do you think holds the belt?
Maybe I have a feeling it's either gonna be the dude who got married or whatever, or the one who's supposed, or a character we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So you think the DWO is gonna just expand? That's what I feel like. I feel like that's what this is going towards too. Cause like it's like right now it's at the ground level, and like they're going through like the family trauma. But I think if like especially the two brothers like piece it up, they're gonna expand to like the Florida League. You know what I mean?
And you're at the Georgia State Fair.
Yeah, and
like,
the lady was super excited. She's like, "I'll sign you for the next 4." Like, you know what I mean? Like
that's not a small thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're at the State Fair, and those are some country people who love themselves at the State Fair with the pigs, all that other shit.
Fucking lassoing and shit.
Yeah, so you're at a big like thing.
Yeah.
Ready, you know what I'm saying? For the state of Georgia, that for them type of people, that's probably the biggest thing they got. That they probably wait all year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, you think they see the like residual of that? Like the shows get bigger?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because now people from all around Georgia are gonna start coming to Duffy to watch them in their venue, and then maybe they start doing a traveling show across Georgia, not always in the Duffy Dome.
That would be hard. Because then that would definitely. Because again, with the guy, I didn't listen to a lot. I just listened to like a couple minutes, and what he said there was a lot of cameos, and they brought a lot of women like wrestlers. So I wonder if that's like a thing where they do like maybe go to another venue or something, or even like the fucking Florida shit. Yeah. Like, what if they do like a cross promotion? Because they're both small. It's not like they're corporate.
Nah, but the Florida show though,
it's like bloody and shit.
No, but it's the production. They have bread backing them up. They got fireworks, they got tables, they got entrances. These people are coming from a tunnel. They do a couple jog steps and they're in the ring.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think that the whole basis of the show is going to be them and the rivalry with the other show, and I think they're both going to equally grow. But you're going to see one is going to be more of a family show, WWE, and one is going to be more of for the teenagers and the dads and sons, is going to be more of AEW, WCW type company. And they have money backing them, which now we're getting foreshadowing of the husband and wife with money backing the DWL.
Yeah.
Because they got bread, and they're at one point they're like, dude, we can't give you any more money. That we've been giving you so much money, and you guys don't even sell. We're the only ones at the show, and we're paying you to keep the show going.
Yeah.
And the county fair, so now they might like, put our banner back up. We'll give you $10,000. Yeah. Fix the seats in here. The AC hasn't worked in years.
Could be. I do see that at the very least. Like if they don't grow to or travel or whatever, I do see at least the DWL like getting like a resurface. By the end of the show, it'll probably look a little different. I do think my personal prediction would probably be Ace get the belt because like it seems like the people love him when his show's good, they love him there. But also I think Crystal like getting the belt and like it kind of like because obviously she knows like that's something they put a lot of emphasis on this episode and the whole last season is like she's super knowledgeable about wrestling, almost as much as almost as much as like Jack and them, like Jack, to be honest. Now whether she gets stronger or like better wrestling techniques in terms of like competing with them, we'll see. But I do think like they might like at least have her in. She might fight for the belt and then maybe lose.
She predicted when he was going to stay in the ring when she was in the crowd. You know, in this family, we settle things in the ring. And then he said,
yeah, he said it. Yeah,
settle things and her friend was like, "Oh, look at you being all fucking."
nerdy and shit, wrestling and shit. Yeah.
But I watch wrestling matches. I can call the moves out before they do them.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
that's almost a nod to the fans because Llama's like that too.
Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. If you watch a match, though, you know, especially if the wrestlers aren't that good, you can predict what's gonna happen. You kind of know exactly what's gonna happen. And I watch wrestling now for the most part for what the funny shit they're gonna say to each other, and if they botch, and trying to catch the botches.
The botches. Well, we're at the 30-minute mark. So, Bert, any last words on episode 1 of Heels?
Continue your greatness, Starz.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see Ghost show up, and I want this whole cinematic.
Yeah, I want the universe to go. I want to see a young Kanan in the background selling crack to these kids.
Tell Georgia, you know, his aunt there to get out of the city.
No, I think honestly, I love season 1. I think episode 1 was a good start for it. I can see it getting better, you know. So we'll be here next week. We're not totally deciding. We haven't decided when we're gonna drop it, but I do think we're gonna drop it the first. I mean, we'll drop it today. Yeah. I was gonna tell us when we're gonna drop it, but I'm just gonna drop it because nobody's watching. So, anyways, be on the lookout next week, either after the episode airs or on a Monday or Tuesday.
Someday this week. 7 days in a week.
We'll figure it out, dude. We're not good at this yet, but
you know, our clips get watched.
Our clips do get watched. Shout out to the late night pod. Sleep on it, yeah. It's AD Jbirdy. This was Starz Heels episode 1 of season 2 review. We'll catch you next week.